I just want to say a quick welcome to everybody who's joining. I can see that there's a uh, somebody in the call that said they were organizing a watch party, which is very exciting. I feel like we've got a lot of excitement for Ember happening at the moment, and I'm definitely capitalizing on that with the amount of people in this meetup. So I'm pretty happy about that. Um, I don't need to tell you where the exits are or the toilets because you're in your own houses, so that's good. But the talks are going to be just me giving a quick introduction on the Ember Initiative. Not going to take a very long time. I just want to do a little bit of a victory lap and say like some of the things, the positive things that have been happening. Then we're going to have Ed giving a bit of a chat about Ember in general. I'll let you tell everybody what that's about when we get there. Next up, it's going to be Bart talking about embedding Ember wherever you want. And then Brendan will be talking about upgrading large apps off old patterns, namely pods. So that's the plan for the evening. Usually, I think last time um, we had this in Q2, we all just stuck around and had like a Q&A session and just like chatting if anybody wants to do that. I know, Ed, you're not going to be able to do that, but I'm happy to hang around for a bit after if anybody wants to just chat about the talks or talk about general Ember things. I always like to talk about Ember given the chance. Okay, so that's the intro. Just to give everybody a bit of an update on the Ember Initiative, uh, if anybody's joined this call and they've never heard about the Ember Initiative, I would love to know who that is. I feel like everybody who joins a call like this is likely going to have heard about this already. Um, and if you are in that select group of people who don't know what it is, myself and Maureen gave a talk at Emberfest, which the video is now up. I can probably share that in the chat if anybody wants to watch it. But that goes into more detail about what the Ember Initiative is, what the point of it is. Um, the the simple version is that the Ember Initiative is a way for Mainmatter, the company that I work for, and the company that's sponsoring slash hosting this event. Um, we we originally wanted to help get Embroider over the line, which is, I know, Ed's brainchild, but we wanted to help get the last few bits done and get the default for everybody. But it's evolved now into something slightly bigger. The Ember Initiative is more about the kind of future of Ember, um, trying to get some of the features that we know are now possible, but just kind of slightly out of reach and bring them into reality a lot sooner rather than having to wait 2, 3 years for stuff like that. Um, I mentioned that it comes out of the Embroider Initiative. So we started the Embroider Initiative to just finish Embroider. That moved into the Ember Initiative and culminated in Ember 6.8, where now if you run Ember New, you get a Vite with Embroider build by default in Ember. And again, if anybody in this call didn't know that, please let me know because we need to figure out how to communicate these things better as a core team, but also as like part of the Ember Initiative and telling people what we're working on. But this is pretty big deal for us. Part of the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis as part of the Ember Initiative is I pair with teams to try and get them onto modern tooling. And it's really interesting to see one team after another. As soon as we get past the old way of building your app using Ember CLI and start moving on to Vite, the the creativity just starts sparking and people start thinking like, what could I do? What else could I do? What other plugin? How could I make things better for everybody? It's really amazing to see that happen over and over again. Um, and part of what I like to think of the Ember Initiative is that I get to pair with these teams, but then bring the learnings of what those teams are doing to the future of Ember. I get to see uh, how people are engaging with Ember, with Vite, with the embroider build system, and what they're trying to achieve. And then I get to hang out with Ed every week on the Ember tooling team meeting and say, oh, this company wants this. And we get to kind of make things better for everybody. And this is a really good way, in my perspective, to ensure the future of Ember. Make sure that it's getting the investment. The hard parts of Ember is getting the investment that it deserves. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to go too far onto it. I will say that if anybody wants to talk to us, they can just go to mainmatter.com/Ember Initiative and click the get in touch at the bottom and ping me about it. And that's it. I'm going to hand over to Ed, who may or may not talk a little bit about the Vite stuff that we've been doing over the last year.